Prey is now on Hulu. This is the prequel to Predator, not necessarily a direct prequel. It's a prequel in the sense that it's set earlier in the timeline. So
they're promoting it as the origin story, and I don't think it's that at all.
It's definitely not the origin story. It's set in 1719 in the Americas somewhere, right? There's French colonials coming over, fur trappers, or whatever. It's this Comanche tribe and a young girl who wants to prove herself and become a hunter is confronted with dealing with a predator that I believe is dropped off on Earth. It's interesting because you see the predator ship at the beginning of the movie just drop off the predator. The ship doesn't land. The predator is merely dropped off in the midst of, the tribal lands, right, of the Comanches, and takes this is a young predator also trying to prove itself by killing off prey. Right. The whole thing is the hunter hunting the hunter being hunted. Right. Mm-hmm. And so you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
In any case, what's the character's name? Is it Naru?
Naru.
Naru. Yeah. So and the one thing that people have pointed out, and I think the movie would have been better with this before we get into the story aspects. Why didn't they just do this all in Comanche?
Yeah. That's one of my big points.
It's and the thing is they're sort of varying. Some of the other actors, I think all the actors in the movie are better than this girl. I don't know who this actress is, the lead actress. She just doesn't have the weight, and she talks like any random girl I would meet in Burbank, California. Okay. And it kind of takes you out of it, at least affect an accent or try to speak in. People didn't, even people that spoke English back then didn't speak it this way.
Yeah, let's be clear. Everyone in this movie has a perfect American accent. Perfect American English.
It doesn't make sense. At least come up with this is what, one of the positives of Black Panther. Also, 350 people watching. Please smash that like button. Thank you. This is what I like about Black Panther is there is a Wakandan accent. It's part of the world building of Wakanda, the social structure, the how they speak, sound, all that stuff matters. And with this, I just felt like these were people cosplaying as Indians. So there you go. It just that part really took me out of it. One thing, so it's her story being confronted by this predator in the midst of these French colonial fur trappers, and having to deal with that along with other predators in, coyotes, eagles, bears. That stuff really works. The stuff with the predator by itself taking on like a bear, that was a cool scene. Mm-hmm. I think the one thing that I would say on the positive side for Prey, the action's pretty good given the premise.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Yeah, I thought the action, I think it even rivals the original movies, the first two. The action is really good in this movie. The effects, I just saw Predator 2, and the effects in this movie far exceed Predator 2.
Yeah, there's some clever stuff knowing you've just got primitive, you've got old style musket rifles, right? That gotta be there's a whole process with, you're not just there's no automatic weapons back then, right? But she uses these axes that have ropes on them. I just think it's again, one of those things, the typical narrative of she's great. She's awesome.
She's marginalized.
She's marginalized, and she's even more awesome at the end. And it's just, you just kind of roll your eyes because it's no struggle. Yeah. I watched this at the same day I watched Prey. I also watched the movie Not Okay. Have you seen the movie Not Okay?
I have not seen Not Okay.
Okay. It's really good. It starts with this trigger warning of this movie features an unlikable female protagonist. That's literally the trigger warning at the beginning of the movie. Unlikable female protagonist. I actually, we'll talk about Not Okay next week sometime. Yeah. It's currently, I believe that is also on Hulu. So I would pair watching Prey with watching Not Okay, because in Not Okay, this girl she's an asshole. She's a horrible human being. And she, you know, she goes through a journey where she learns lessons. She learns to be less of a horrible person and maybe take a look at herself and look at like her, you know, out of whack values, right? Like she just values social media validation over real morality. Yeah. And that's a really interesting story.
Yeah. We used to have movies used to have character arcs, you know, where a character changes over the course of the movie and the events force them to confront their weaknesses and become better people on the other side. That's what movies used to do. Right.
Well, Prey just, I don't know. I just, the thing that just made it annoying was the girl is awesome and just becomes more awesome because she's going to beat the Predator. She's going to come up with a way to beat the Predator somehow. She's going to beat the Predator and whatnot. I'll say this, you know, that put that aside. I'm mixed on it because I can't stand that typical female character arc, right? That character arc is so annoying. Alan, what did you think about that? I feel like that was like that, and also the dialogue and the sort of like everyone just talks like they're from Burbank, California.
Yeah. So I had the fortune to be challenged to watch the first two Predator movies before seeing this.
Good.
And so I have a lot of thoughts, but here's the thing that struck me the most about this version of the Predator. Predator 1, it was the Predator versus Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
Predator 2, Predator versus Danny Glover and the entire LAPD. And then and then you have Alien versus Predator. To me, the Predator series has been this contest of champions. You know, the aliens bring their best hunter to go against our best hunter, and we see this play out. And where this movie falls short is, well, Naru is not exactly the Earth's greatest champion. And I think that was always the attraction of the Predator movies, of our heroes, of our action stars going up against an informidable foe and being pushed to their limits. And this becomes basically a kid's tale, which makes me believe that this was better off as a direct to Hulu or direct to Disney Plus.
No, I actually could see this movie being released in theaters.
Yeah, but it's the draw of it. The whole point of the Predator series was this contest of champions, and you've completely eliminated that. I think if what they should have done was find a female actor, Gina Carano. Let's put Gina Carano in this role and have her go up against the Predator.
Well, that's way more believable. I just after a while I just thought, well, this Predator must not be very good at being a predator. And
I'll also say that, you know, you brought it up. I think it was a huge mistake not shooting not having the dialogue in Comanche.
It should have been Comanche. I actually own a standard def DVD of Star Wars, the original Star Wars, A New Hope, translated into Navajo. It's one of the only mainstream Hollywood movies that they ever did that, which I think is pretty cool. But it's you know, that would have been more authentic, is just have the movie subtitled. It would have put you in that world better. And also having her lose a bit and fail more. She's just too lucky and too good. And that kind of, it does, I'm sorry, it does ruin films. It does look at like, and I think it does a disservice to the whole, you know, all protagonists need to struggle. Male, female, black, white, Asian, doesn't matter. Struggle, and the lessons you learn from struggle, those are important. When you have characters that just don't struggle and everything comes easy to them, or they're just super lucky, it's like one of my favorite Looney Tunes where Bugs Bunny is walking on a construction site. He's sleepwalking and doesn't fall. He's just completely, that's what the movie is. Yeah. And first of all, it's a great I'm a Looney Tunes guy. Screw Disney cartoons. I watch Looney Tunes. There's violence. There's guns. Looney Tunes are the best cartoons.
Even as a kid, I knew the difference between Looney Tunes and Mickey Mouse cartoons, and Looney Tunes were clearly the better ones.
The Looney Tunes were better. The Mickey Mouse ones were just so gentrified and milquetoast. I never liked them. I always liked Looney Tunes. There's like dynamite and people fall, and you know, it's cartoon violence and nobody gets hurt, but you're blowing things up with dynamite. I love it. I love more violence.
Naru's weakness is she's marginalized, you know.
Right.
And then they do the thing that I hate most in action movies. She steps in a bear trap. She has to get the trap off. Her leg should be broken at this point, but it's perfectly fine afterwards. And she's able to defeat the predator. Well, maybe defeat the predator. Don't want to spoil it. With and she should have at least the weakness of a broken leg at that point.
Well, let's get to the comments here. But my review of this is mixed. Action is fantastic. The concept is I think a good concept, not well executed, and a typical female protagonist that, yay! And Jinx says it best. Pray Skywalker.
Yeah. The thing is, they never should have made this a Predator movie. It should have just been a girl up against an alien, and not bring the franchise into it.
Did Chris just say Not Okay was really good? No, I didn't. It's good in the sense that it's a female character that is freaking loathsome and awful and learns a lesson, and it stands in contrast to all movies about female protagonists. Does that make sense, Pops? And I would recommend it. And it's also stupid. It gets stupid woke at the end, which is really annoying. Yeah, really annoying. But holy.
Well, you colonizers did it to yourself. So
yeah, exactly. Holy Hand Grenade says, is she terrible like Mimi from Psycho Gorman? Mimi stays horrible, but she's badass. You talking about not okay? I'm not sure. Sorry.
That's what happens when you bring two movies into a review.
Didn't Batman fight predators in the comics? Says Mob 1901. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Aid Robertson for 449 says they managed to shoehorn in Raphael Adolini's flintlock musket from Predator 2. True.
Oh,
Womp Biscuits. Womp Biscuit says Predator is a case study in how to make a good villain. Just one villain, build him or her up to be indestructible. Then, like Alan said, have Carano go up against it, not multiple villains. Yeah. Patrick Lemire says this Predator was a TikToker on his planet. Lubitch touched me, says real smooth on not spoiling that, Alan. Shelby AC, whatever happened to training?
Okay, she dies. All right, I spoiled it.
There is a training montage, but even in the training montage, she does everything right.
Yeah.
There is a training montage where she's kind of playing with these axes with ropes on them. And it's she never misses. And I just looked at that. And I'm just I don't know. I just look at how often Luke failed in the original trilogy. That's part of what makes it great when he succeeds. And in choosing not to fight, that's how Luke succeeds at the end of Return of the Jedi. It's a whole
remember he had to wear the helmet against the droid, the training bot.
Where are you going with that, Alan?
No, I'm going, he had to fail in the training in order to get better. And by taking away his sight, he became better.
Yeah, the Alex Zorba says Hollywood is creatively bankrupt. End of story. Zach says I knew the Predator was a filthy colonizer. Douchey McDouchek says definitely gonna watch the Comanche version. I would like to see it. And they should have, maybe what they should have done is offered with anime, there could have been a subbed or dubbed version. And I would have gone for the subbed version because I think it brings you more into the world. I think that would have been really cool. I heard the bear was the best actor in this movie, says Mob 1901. Yeah, the bear scene is actually pretty cool. Apocalypto shows how to do an incredible indigenous film, says Shauna Bass. Yeah, thank you for that. Fusa Jonassi for 5 says, no one respects you, Chris. We used to adore you, but you're a fungus fan. Growing from negativity. You are the face now, right-wing fandom menace. Really? Is that what you think? You must not be watching me or listening to me, or the fact that I've been doing this for 30 fucking years. So no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. I think I'm positive or negative. Depends on the situation. Depends on the movie. So sorry, maybe don't watch the channel and fuck off. Immortal Remus says, I would have preferred a feature-length adaptation of the fan short film Predator Dark Ages. Oh, that's true. Mark Lursith says a female hunter in the Comanche tribe. Yes, it doesn't make any sense. She's pushing away her traditional gender roles. So
yeah, even back then.
I've heard mixed things on Prey, says Holy Hand Grenades. Mixed. Look, there's stuff to, there's stuff to love. There's stuff to love in it. And there's also stuff to not. It's typical. It's mixed. Jack D. Ripper, eat, pray, love. Mel Gibson has entered the chat. There you go. Let's pivot. And so that's the bottom line on Prey is your mileage may vary. If you've already got Hulu, stay for the action scenes, but pass on the rest.